Grayson. Grayson. Welcome to girls basketball. Welcome to girls basketball. Grayson. Grayson. What? Ask Grayson. And ask him tell him to get on the phone. Grayson. Grayson. Yeah. Grayson. Are we ready to talk? Alright. And welcome to the 2012-2013 season of the Limar Lions, as Limar faces Cedar Rapids Kennedy tonight. As we unfortunately were not able to get you up until deep into the second quarter. Right now it's 13-12 Limar with Courtney Major with the ball, and Living Goose has it stripped from Kennedy, and number 11 Jordan Holmes brings it up the court. And V's to number 23, Wagner. Gives it back to V's, over to Holmes. Long, over to V's. He shoots it, and it's good. And that gives Kennedy a 14-13 lead.
And Michael, it looks like for the first time in this game, Kennedy has claimed the lead.
And you said that most of the scoring you told me earlier, most of the scoring for this team has really come from Sarah Straw.
You know, Michael, she really has been the key to this season so far. She leads the team in both rebounding and scoring as of yet.
As Michaela Brandt was fouled, so as Limar's in the bonus, so this will be a 1-and-1 situation for Michaela Brandt. And she misses it as number 23, Wagner, gets the rebound. And now Wagner gets it, and she tries to pass it to post, and it's stolen from Major. And Yearling traveled after a pass from Michaela Brandt. That has been the story, I think, for all of last season, really, is that the Limar girls basketball team really struggled with turnovers. So what do you think they need to do to really prevent that from happening?
Well, Michael, I feel like rebounds are really the key to success for this Lions team. Against Iowa City West, their one loss, they did not rebound well. But against Hempstead last Tuesday, they had an excellent rebounding game, and as a result, they did win. So if they can get the boards, this game looks like it'll go pretty easily for them.
And Limar has really also had a problem with scoring. As last year it was really Michaela Brandt, maybe a little help from Major. And right now it really seems like it's really just Straw, occasionally getting help from Brandt or Major. So what do you think they need to do in order, as number 4, Madison Meyer is fouled going up for a shot. So she will have two shots. What do you think they need to do to increase their scoring throughout the season, really?
Well, really, they can't rely so much on Stroll, Major, and Brandt because, as you and I both know, they won't be here next year. So the only way to do that is to get the rest of the team involved and distribute the ball. And we stress that plenty, but it's the truth. It's what needs to be done.
And on a jump ball, Limar gets the ball back as Michaela Brandt sets up the offense. Pass it over to Major. Over to number 20, Jenna Harms, as the ball is knocked out of bounds. Major tries to look for someone to pass it to, and she finds Brandt in the backcourt. Pass it over to Major, who quickly gives it to Harms. She goes cross-cut to Yearling. Yearling finds Brandt on the edge. Brandt doesn't take it, finds Major for a wide-open 3, and she misses it.
Rebounded by Jenna Harms.
And Harms goes up for a shot, and they got jump ball. She was looking for a foul, but Kennedy was able to get their hand on the ball. That's a jump ball. As there's Liminguth coming onto the floor, has really struggled with getting into foul trouble, and really has underachieved in rebounding, despite how tall she really is. She's probably the tallest one on the court most nights. So why do you think it's Straw that is who's not exactly a huge, like super tall, but she's getting most of the rebounds?
Stroll seems to be more aggressive in getting to the basket. She's a lot quicker than Libenguth. And, as you mentioned earlier, Libenguth has been getting in foul trouble. So, with all of those fouls, she has to sit on the bench occasionally. Right now, she doesn't have any, and that is an excellent thing.
And that is Straw on the drive, who kicks it to Major and misses another 3.
And Michael, it looks like time is winding down in the second quarter.
Yeah, there's 50 seconds left in the second quarter. Once again, we apologize for coming late into the game this evening. And pass it out. Kennedy passes out of bounds, attempting to get it to number 11, Jordan Holmes. And Kristen Eilis comes in for Courtney Major. Michaela Brandt over to Eilis, who passes it to Yearling. Eilis with the shot, and oh. She make it? It was an offensive foul, apparently. So despite her actually making the 3, it does not count. Foul was on Sarah Straw for an illegal screen. And Holmes with the ball for Kennedy.
Only 10 seconds
and
left.
Holmes takes it,
quarter.
and she goes up and is fouled hard by Liminguth. And just as we were saying earlier, there's Liminguth's first foul. There are 9 seconds left in the first half. She will have 2 shots, and they have a 16-13 lead. And the ball is, that shot is no good. So she will get another free throw. And then Limar has to, you wonder if Limar will call timeout here to try and get the last possession up. They have 9 seconds left to take it down to the court. And that one rattles in. And Michaela Brandt takes it up the court. And she is trapped and she loses the ball. And Kennedy gets it, 2 seconds left, 1 second left. And they got up and it's good. And Kennedy scores the last basket of the half. Just like that, 19-13. instead of hopefully 17-15. And Kennedy takes the lead 19-13 at half. What do you think Limar needs to do in the second half to really get themselves back in this game?
Again, rebounding, rebounding, rebounding. They need to just be more aggressive on the board. But if you look at the scoring distribution, really, no one is above 5 points at right now. Courtney Major has not scored a single point yet. And that is just astonishing, which that's something that needs to be fixed.
And really not just Major. Sarah Straw only has 2 points. Michaela Brandt has 5. And so she's putting up a decent amount of points. But then you get Isles, who's coming off the bench, who's put up 3. And then Yearling, who's also put up just 3. So you really had to get more scoring. 13 points in 16 minutes is really just not acceptable.
Well, yes, Michael, and Straw really just needs to get hot because when you look at how much she scored last Tuesday, scoring 15 here at home against Hempstead, she really needs to repeat that performance for Linmar to win.
And again, Andy, what about the turnovers? I've seen it time and again from last year and this year. What do you think they need to do about ball control?
Really, I don't know. This is just sloppy ball handling, and good passing is always a good solution to it. But really, it's just protecting the ball. And that's a football catchphrase, but it also works here because really, most of these turnovers, they have not been out of bounds turnovers. They have been just stolen turnovers.
So, also, it seems like a lot of times, at the very end of the half, for example, Michaela Brandt really just tried to run straight through a double team. And part of that was because it was low on time. But you really have to think that they have to try and speed this up. Because it could take them up to, I mean, they're always, like, taking their time, taking it up the court. And really, they're just killing clock. They are just really eating clock. And that's okay if you are scoring on those possessions. But they're really not. They're putting the team in a great position where they're not scoring and taking time out the clock. That is a terrible position to be in.
And Kennedy has gone on a 13-1 run since the middle of the first quarter, and it's just not looking good for the Lions. And I don't know what Coach Brandt is going to say in that locker room, but he needs to fire up the troops.
In a way, depth is also a problem. We didn't lose a lot of people last year. The one senior that we lost, I can't remember her name, but she was hurt most of the year. So really, this is a very similar team. Team hasn't changed all that much, but there is really a lack of depth. Not a lot of team where Coach Brandt really feels confident in putting on the floor. And part of that might be because Lainey Nieder has been out the last few games. And she has really came on strong at the end of last year, getting onto the team halfway through the year, and really became a big contributor. What do you think they need to do in order to replace Lady and get right now they're down to like a 6 or 7, I guess, woman rotation?
Well, what we have been seeing is primarily seniors getting playing time. But Coach Brandt needs to get in some of the juniors and give them some experience because if he doesn't now, next year is not going to be pretty because, well, with a lack of playing experience, things aren't going to look good. So really, I'd recommend using Taylor Robertson a little bit more, putting in Anna Foley occasionally. But right now, all we've been seeing is really the starting rotation.
And a couple. There was Jenna Harms, I believe, and Chris Niles have been coming off the bench. But really, I haven't seen one junior come off the bench yet. And that is astounding. And there are a lot of juniors on this team. But another thing to mention is there were really hardly any seniors on last year's team. There was not a lot of experience there. And unfortunately, the experience they did have wasn't exactly great experience. They were under 500 last season, I believe. And even if they were above 500, it was right around the 500 mark. So what do they need to do to kind of get that experience?
Well, again, like we've said, we have only seen seniors coming off of the bench or getting playing time right now. So getting the juniors in to give them the leadership and experience of being in a game will not only be beneficial this year, but it will pay off next year.
Well,
And
we're going to go for a quick break. We'll be back here in a couple minutes. But until then, the game's at halftime. There are about 5 minutes left until the second half starts. So we'll be right back.
Everyone has friends. There's online friends, friends to go out with on a Saturday night, friends to hang out with and do nothing, friends who show up on moving day. And then there are the friends who'll be there if someone is dealing with a mental illness. Are you one of those friends?
LMTV does news, but there's so much more. We are live sports, live arts, live weather. We run the stadium jumbotron and bring you the latest school news on Twitter. We keep you informed every hour, every day, and we're always online. Come join our team. At LMTV, we are Linmar.
If you could have another chance, what would you do differently?
They give me the wrong pizza. I got pineapple on this.
You're sick, man.
I didn't order it, did I?
Think. Always wear a seatbelt.
Welcome back with about a minute until the second half starts. The Lions just took the floor. It doesn't look like they're going to take more roughs. But it was really a rough second half, scoring-wise, for Limar, and really kind of Kennedy, too. Kennedy scored most of their points right at the very end. But most of the first half, both teams were unable to score.
that's very true, Michael. And really, this has not been a high-scoring half by any means. But when you look at the Lions, there has just not been much scoring other than what has been done by Brandt and Strahl and Yearling. And it looks like coming out of halftime, Coach Brandt will be using his starting rotation again.
Yeah, well, there is a lot of depth, and part of that might be due to a couple injuries. But you have to really think that Coach Brandt has to be really worried about the depth on this team. It seems like he doesn't trust his juniors. He trusts it shows how much he trusts his juniors when he's willing to play a sophomore over a junior. As Brandt takes the ball to start the half. Brandt gets it again. And the pass is tipped, but Strahl gets it and passes it to Yearling, who misses for 3. Brandt takes it and is fouled while driving to the court after a good tip rebound by Strahl. And she makes her first free throw. As she makes both free throws. And number 14, V's takes it up the floor, gives it to Meyer, who gives it back to V's. Hendrickson gets it, passes it to V's, gives it back to Meyer, V's gets it again. And Wagner has the ball, Hendrickson has the ball, and she tries to set something up. And the score here is 19-15 with about 7 minutes to go. And a poor pass by number 23, Taylor Wagner, intended for number 14, Brianna Vies, and that ball went straight out of bounds. And you saw pretty much just almost stalling by Kennedy. You really didn't ever see him attack the basket. And you wonder if that's their strategy. If Limar is unable to score, that's what they're planning to do.
Well, you have to think so, Mike.
And that was a shot. That was a very poor shot there by Courtney Major. And that leads directly to a transition basket for number 33, Paige Hendrickson. And Yearling goes up, and she is fouled before she can go up into a shot. So that will probably be a foul on the ground. No, they called it a shooting foul, so she will get 2 free throws. As Yearling misses her first free throw. And you can see head coach for Kennedy, Tony V, is asking if she had been attempting the shot. But from our angle, it looked like she had started to go up for her shot and was fouled before she could actually get off the ground. And your second free throw attempt is also no good.
And you know, free throw shooting has not been a strength of Hannah Yearling. Up until now, she has been 42.9% from the line. Not good, Michael, not good.
And Hendrickson has the ball, gives it to Vies. And Vies gives it to number 10, Madison DeLong, and she is fouled as she goes up for a shot. And DeLong's first free throw attempt is no good. And that is no good. Or that one is good. So it's 22-15, Kennedy.
And Michael, it looks like Kristen Isles is back in the game. Yet another senior.
And Michaela Brandt was trapped, so she throws it off Madison Meyer's leg as it goes out of bounds. And now Michaela Brandt starts to set something up, gives it to Isles. Straw gets it, gives it back to Isles, and Brandt gets it again. Isles takes a three, and it's good. And Limar makes the three, and you have to wonder if Courtney Major will get less playing time if she keeps shooting the way she is. She has had a very poor shooting night so far. Straw guarding number 4, Meyer, who passes it in to number 23, Wagner, and that ball is knocked out of bounds by Lemon Goose. Holmes passes it in to number 40, Botkin. And number 4, Meyer goes up for a shot, but she's blocked there by Lemon Goose. And Hannah Yearly will slow things down, trying to go in transition, and they will set something up. Chris Niles decides to not take the same three she just took earlier. And Isles passes up another three, drives in, and she tries to go up, but there's a jump ball. She tried to take it up. So you have seen a lot of Limar passing, and besides maybe Straw and Brandt, and I guess right there Isles, you haven't seen them really attacking so far. They're just kind of standing at the perimeter, passing it, hoping something happens. Someone's going to do something.
I don't know, Michael. It seems like they haven't really made an adjustment at the break. And really, I think they need to try and get Liebenguth more involved. I mean, she is 6'3". That's a serious height advantage. Down there in the paint, that would actually be beneficial to try and use Liebenguth to get some scoring going other than what's being put up by Brandt and Holmes.
Meyer has the ball in the corner, gives it to Holmes, and she misses it. There's a scramble for the rebound and a jump ball, and that will be basketball. And there you saw it, Limar's just unable to just really secure that rebound. That should not have had to be a jump ball.
And really,
once again, we aren't really seeing them responding to this press. They really struggle with it.
And you would not
And Yearly gained an open mid-range jump shot, misses it. And a good rebound by Isles, and she gets it. She scored Limar's last 5 points. Kristen Isles giving a big spark off the bench. Number 11, Jordan Holmes takes it up. Hendrickson passes it to number 4, Meyer. Holmes into paint. Holmes gets it back. 2-3, no good. And Kennedy's unable to make a layup, and now Brandt has open floor. She's going to pull it out due to the pass game to her late. Fakes a shot, drives in, and misses a layup. And that will become Limar basketball. As there's number 21, Arn Jones, a junior, to appease Andy McDonald.
The first one we have seen this entire game, Michael.
And a long pass to Brandt. She gets it. Isles over to Straw. Straw dribbles, gives a good pass to Yearling, who was unable to make a shot. And there is a foul. I believe it's going to be over the back on number 21, Arden Jones. As Courtney Major is about to come back in. As that will be Hannah Yearly coming up the court. Kristen Isles has so far been the only offense so far from Limar outside of Michaela Brandt's 2 free throws. And number 14, V's with the ball. Passes it to number 10, DeLong. Throws a bullet over to number 34, number 30. There are 2 V's on this team. Mariah V's, a junior, and Brianna V's, a senior, just to make my life difficult. And number 40, Stephanie Bakken goes up for a shot. She is fouled and drains it. I believe the foul was on number 10, Sarah Straw. Yes, it was. That is her second foul. And Stephanie Botkin's free throw is good. Andy, what do you think they need to do to get the rest of the team more involved? It seems that really Kristen Isles has been doing everything so far.
Really, Michael, I don't know. This is something that they actually need to work out as a team. I think bringing in Erin Jones should be beneficial because she has not been used yet in this game, and trying to get her involved could spark something. But right now, it just looks like it's like Kristen Isles and 4 other people on the court. That's really what it looks like, when really what we should be seeing is a team, a unit scoring. But right now, we're only seeing one person with a bunch of other bodies, essentially.
Yeah, and as Kennedy got the ball, and they passed it out to number 30, Mariah Vees. Passes it to, I assume, her sister, Brianna Vees, who gives it back to her sister. Now number 11, Jordan Holmes with the ball, who passes it to number 40, Bakken. Goes up for Chandra, has another foul. This one, I believe, was on Arn. Yes, it was Aaron Jones. And her first free throw is good. Stephanie Bakken has really been cashed in. She scored Kennedy's last 4 points. If she makes this free throw, now she will score the last 5 points, and that would mean that Kristen Isles and Stephanie Bakken have scored the last 10 points. First Kristen Isles going on a 5-0 run for Limar, and now Stephanie Bakken, who comes out the floor right now, trades 5 straight points. And that really shows, I think, what's the problem with Limar's depth. Kristen Isles, Coach Brandt really can't afford to take Kristen Isles on the floor. She's his only offense so far. So Stephanie Bakken just scores 5 straight points, and head coach Tony Vees takes her off the court right after her free throw. So what do you think the problem is? Like, how do you think this compares for depth for both teams?
You know, Michael, I really can't tell because we've presented a lot of ways that they could re-energize this team and get more people involved, but nothing really seems to be working. And you see fouls. Linmar has 4 fouls, Kennedy has 2. And the fact of the matter is, when we foul someone from Kennedy, they're actually making their free throws, which is hurting us.
And right there, Michaela Brandt goes up for a shot and misses it. And Aaron Jones, a junior, was the only person in there to get a rebound. As number 14, Brianna Vees, passes it to Holmes, who gives it right back. She gives it to Hendrickson, gives it back to Brianna Vees. And Vees gets it after trying to get it into the post. Hendrickson is unable to make her shot, but she is fouled on the play, I believe, by Kristen Niles. Excuse me, it was on number 20, Jenna Harms. Hendrickson with 2 free throws.
And Michael, it looks like we have Livenguth, Strahl, and Yearling coming back into the game.
And Hendrickson with her second free throw to try and give Kennedy a 9-point lead. It is no good, and Kennedy gets the rebound as Livenguth got out-rebounded by number 23, Taylor Wagner, and then fouled her as she went up for a shot. So Taylor Wagner is able to make both her free throws. She will have she will give Kennedy a 2-point lead, a 10-point lead. And the first one is no good, as it is 28-20 Kennedy with 1:14 left to go in the third quarter. And her second free throw is not good, but Sarah Straw goes up strong for the rebound and is fouled as she goes up by number 10, Madison DeLong. Hannah Yearling takes it up and gives it to Straw, and Straw is called for traveling as she started walking before she started dribbling. So Brianna Weiss will take it up the court as she gives it over to Jordan Holmes. As she gives a good pass over to Hendrickson, passes it over to number 23 Wagner, gives it back to Weiss, and now number 11 Holmes will try and set it up again. As she's double teaming in the backcourt. Has good ball movement so far, but Lamar's doing a great job at switching off of double teams. As it's under 30 seconds left, as Kennedy is really not doing anything. They have no real urge to go to the basket. And Coach Tony Weiss calls a timeout. And, you know, it's not a very bad strategy by Kennedy. Run out the clock. Limar is down 8. They still have not proved that they have the ability to score. So, what do you think they need to do to really get this offense ignited again?
Well, Michael, you see that Kennedy right now is exploiting Lidmar's biggest weakness, the clock. And one of the disadvantages to not having a shot clock in high school basketball means Kennedy can literally just sit there and dribble for as long as they so please. So our Lions need to be more aggressive on defense and try and get some steals or force a takeaway of some sort. Because really right now, Kennedy is just standing there and burning clock, and that's just hurting us.
As Holmes tries to take it up the court, and Sarah Straw, unaware of how much time was left on the clock, just kind of jogs lazily off the court. As this Limar team, despite there being 8 minutes left in this game, they honestly look defeated. They really do. If you look at the huddle, they just look defeated. There's a look about that they really are just tired of it. A lot of these seniors were here last year. It was a rough season. They really struggled. Their same struggle. They couldn't score the basketball. And it's really not ball movement. They're getting open looks. The problem is they're all outside. Most of them are outside the three-point line arc. And they may be open shots, but they're not open because teams have looked at the strategy, and they made a strategy. You can take all the outside shots you want. We'll give you those, but they are not going to let them go inside. And that's basically been the strategy against Limar all last year and really so far all this year. So they really either need to start doing a better job at getting inside the paint, or doing a better job of really making their shots. They really have been unable to do that so far. As number 23, Chris Niles passes it in to Michaela Brandt. Michaela Brandt drives, gives it to Yearly. Yearly does a good job, drives and misses a very good layup. As Sarah Straw with the rebound, gives it to Major. Another rebound by Isles. She isn't able to make it. Straw gets another rebound, and she is fouled as she goes up. As that was a great rebound there by Limar.
And checking into the game now is number 20, Jenna Harms.
And Brett gets the inbound pass from Isles. Isles gets an open look in the corner, decides to pass it up. Brandt gives it back to Isles. Isles tops the three, it's no good, but Yearly with another rebound. Outstanding possession by Limar so far. Brandt with a wide open three, and that one is in and out. And Limar with another rebound, but Sarah Straw is unable to contain it. And Hendrickson is not able to contain the pass, and that ball goes out of bounds. And all of a sudden, a complete change of the game. Limar seems to be out hustling Kennedy. First time that's happened all game long.
You know, Michael, I think we're starting to see some energy in this seemingly defeated Lions squad. And I'm surprised by this because they have been on the floor almost the entire night.
And Michaela Brandt is unable to get past it. Hendrickson makes a transition layup, and now the lead is double digits. And now this is where the seniors really have to show leadership and score. They can't afford to just dribble around, pass around. They have to get points, and they have to get points fast. Chris Niles will dribble it up, gets it out to Michaela Brandt. And they have to remember, they don't need threes. They definitely do not need threes. There's way too much time left to start just settling for jump shots. Chris Niles with the ball, gives it back to Brandt. Brandt drives, and she is fouled as she tries to pass it to Jenna Harms. That is I believe the 15th foul on, yes it is, the 15th foul on Kennedy. And Yearly gets the inbound pass. And she passes it to Harms, who wasn't looking, and she is unable to can it, and that is a jump ball, and that ball goes to Kennedy.
And you know, Michael, right now Michaela Brandt just looks frustrated. And why wouldn't she be? Because right now Kennedy is extending their lead to 10, and it doesn't look like Linmar will be getting much offensive production.
Chris Niles, guard number 33, Hendrickson, who passes it to Jordan Holmes. Holmes tries to call something up. And she gets a screen for number 40, Stephanie Bakken. And once again, she's just another strat. You guys see this, you're seeing this again. She's really just kind of dribbling at the top of the court. And now Linmar has to show some urgency. And now she drives up, and it looks like that is Harms with the ball. And Brandt brings it up the court. And Brandt sets it up, gives it to Isles, and just misses a three. But Straw at the rebound, and that's good. And finally, Straw's work on the boards pays off, and she gets 2 points. Hannah Yearling guarding number 11, Jordan Holmes, who takes a three-pointer, and that one is good. Ice in her veins from Jordan Holmes, and she drills a dagger in Linmar's heart. Right after they score some points, she drains a three that really Linmar would have been content to give her, but she makes it.
You know, Michael, you're completely right, but right now it looks like Linmar's trying to get things going a little too late.
Yeah, Andy, and really, you have to think that timeout, that last timeout at the end of the third quarter, I think what was the epitome is Center Straw, probably Coach Brandt's biggest hustle player, just didn't hustle. She got the ball 3 seconds left, just kind of jogged lazily and just threw up a lazy shot. It wasn't even close. It could have been about a 1/3 court shot, and she made it like 3/4 court shot. So she really didn't hustle, and that just shows you how defeated she felt, because she is putting in all this hustle, and none of it is paying off. You've seen her get a ton of rebounds. I'm sure she's close to 15 rebounds, and she's giving it to open teammates, and they're just not making shots. They're just kind of dribbling around, and you're right, they just started way too late. They're not moving the ball. As Brandt takes it up, gives it to Major, and Major's just standing there. They need to hurry up. And Sarah Straw gets the ball. She gives it back to Major, and Major travels. As Linmar, and you can see Coach Brandt on the sideline. He just seems dumbfounded. There's just nothing going right.
Coach Brandt himself looks defeated. Not angry, just resigned to the possible outcome of this game. And right now, Kennedy has extended their lead to 13, the largest it's been this game.
Number five, Mikhail Christopher has the ball, gives it to Straw, and Straw's able to draw a foul. She will get 2 free throws. And her first one is good.
And Sarah Stroll has been 100% from the free throw line. She has not missed a free throw this season. And I'm sorry for jinxing that.
And Brandt gets the ball as Limar got the rebound. Really the best thing that could have happened. Makes one, misses the other, they get the rebound. Straw gets it, drives, gives out to Brandt, who has an open three, and that is good. And now it's 35-26. And Limar is not going to give up this game without a fight. Number 5, Mikkel Christopher is in the game. And also number 2, Taylor Robinson is in the game. A couple juniors in late in this basketball game. And Sarah Straw commits a foul that I think deep down she knows that she shouldn't have committed. She went in too aggressive. And now number 4, Madison Meyer, will get 2 free throws. Madison Meyer, I believe, made a critical mistake and going in fast. She went for quick points when really what they wanted to do is just dribble out. If they really wanted to, they could just dribble around, run out the entire 3 minutes and 53 seconds.
You know, they really can, Michael. But we're starting to see a spark in this Linamar team. The question is, did it come soon enough?
And Brandt has the ball. And Isles with the 3, and that's no good. Taylor Robinson, and she goes an over-the-back foul on Taylor Robinson. Still, good hustle on Robinson, fighting for the ball. You like to see this hustle. The problem is where was this for the first 3 quarters? They saw none of this for the first 3 quarters, and that is truly why they lose this game. If you really look these last 6-7 minutes, Limar has truly outplayed Kennedy.
They have.
And that 1-on-1 is no good, and Limar gets the ball. So the game is by no means over, but they definitely need some help. As there was a dispute on whether Courtney Major could be on the floor, and she was not allowed on. And Brandt goes in for a very easy layup. Great offense so far by Limar. They are outplaying them, but they are not getting any. They are not playing well at the defensive end. And that passes. It goes out of bounds. So that will be 38-28 with 2 minutes and 39 seconds left. Limar has the ball. Courtney Major comes onto on the floor, and so does Jenna Harms. So good few minutes there by Mikkel Christopher and Taylor Robertson. So obviously, it's not over, but Limar has dug themselves in a huge hole. They really need to score, and they have to start playing very aggressive on defense. You have to wonder if Coach Brandt has to consider a full court press, correct?
You know, Michael, that's interesting. However, at this point, Linmar's strategy should just be conserve clock time. And the best way to do that is fouling. The problem with that is Kennedy has been hitting a large percentage of their free throws tonight. So that'll just continue Kennedy's scoring pattern when we don't really have an answer to that.
Yeah, Andy, it was about 15 seconds left in this timeout. Limar has to really be thinking, who are they?
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
As Michaela Brandt takes it up the floor. Hannah Yearling. Back to Major. Yearling with the ball. And that ball is knocked away by Brianna Vies. And that is a jump ball And that's still Limar ball, but that killed Preston Seconds and very poor ball handling by Courtney Major. Kayla Brandt takes it up, gives it to Kristen Miles, who gives it back to Brandt. They need a shot quick. They cannot waste time. Michaela Brandt tried to serve out. Kristen Miles with a 3. That is no good. Whoa, that is a foul called, and it very looked like Hendrickson had just dropped the rebound, but they called a push-off on number 20, Jenna Harms. But the official, I said whoa because the official that called it had really no view at the push. You would have thought it would have been the other official that had the side view. So number 40, Stephanie Botkin. Will go to take a shot. We'll get 2 free throws. And her second free throw is also good. So now Limar is down 12 and really needs to hustle. Courtney Major is really taking way too much time bringing the ball at the court. Kayla Brandt drives. Gives it to Harms, who finds Isles for 3. No good. And now that is an and one, as that, I believe, has to be the final nail in the coffin for Limar, if it wasn't in already. As Madison Meyer gets an and one, making it a 14-point lead with a free throw to come. Limar's had a couple good looks for 3-pointers, but they just haven't been able to drain them. And really, Limar has had a little bit unlucky, but really, I think if you look at the tape, the reason they will lose this game is not because of anything Kennedy did. It is what they did. They just didn't play with energy. Just played out no energy throughout this entire game. As a long pass to Courtney Major. Courtney Major finds Isles, who gives it to Yearling, who finds Major. And they are killing way too much clock. Kayla Brandt takes a shot, and she drains it. 1:20 left as Limar's down 12. And they have to foul if they can't get the ball, if they can't steal it. As they foul number 14, Brianna Beef. And really, surprisingly, the one person that you do not want to foul is their center, Stephanie Botkin. She has really just been draining all of her free throws so far tonight. As Brianna Beef makes her first shot. Limar basically now has to go down, take no more than like 6 or 7 seconds and drain a 3. That's pretty much what they have to do every possession from here on out.
And really, they have to aggressively foul. But if Kennedy's coach is smart, he probably put in his best free throw shooters. So really, I don't want to say that this game is over, but it's not looking good.
Well, you may not be willing to say, Andy, that's over, but I am willing to say that this game is over. They are down 14 points. There's 62 seconds left. There's really no way they can't, and you can't really blame they're playing the fourth quarter. They have played outstanding in the fourth quarter. The problem was the first 3 quarters where they just didn't play basketball, played out.
And just like Tim Tebow, it's not just the fourth quarter.
As Limar is not fouling, and now
no shot clock. They can hold that ball as long as they want.
And finally, Michaela Brandt fouls. I believe that is Jordan Holmes. No, excuse me, it was Madison Meyer. So Madison Meyer will get 2 free throws, as she so far has 3 points in this game. And she makes her first.
And Michael, it looks as though the sophomore girls team is leaving too. So what does that say?
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
it looks as though the sophomore girls team is also making an exit. So what does that say about how this game has gone?
Yeah, it's really, you've seen that all night. You have seen a lot of different players so far on Kennedy, and we really just haven't seen it that on Limar. At the very end, Coach Brandt started saying out for juniors, but that was more out desperation than anything. He was just trying to get anything going, and they did a little bit, but it was really not enough. As now the lead is down to 17, as Limar is really just taking a beating now. A lot of people are going to see this and they'll say, wow, they got destroyed. Really, about half of the deficit came in really garbage time when Limar was just chucking up threes and fouling. So, as that pass was almost run out of bounds, but number 2, Robertson, was able to save it. Isles missed her three, and Isles tries to knock it away, and Stephanie Botkin gets in. I believe. And Yearly tries to steal it. And she gets it to Ravi. She drops it. Stephanie Botkin gets it. And 8 seconds left.
And Kennedy will just hold on for the rest of the game.
And the final score here is 49-31. As Limar really outscored in the fourth quarter. Most of that was during time where they were just shooting threes out of desperation. And then they were making their free throws. So really, this was a game that Limar lost in the first 3 quarters. This was not a game that they lost in the second half. They really lost it without coming out of energy pretty much all game. They didn't have any energy until the very end. And I think Coach Brandt is just really frustrated because he knows his team has the capability. They showed it there in spurts in the fourth quarter. They had the ability to come out and really play and give any team some type of challenge. But really, they just haven't been able to do it for an entire game, and that just has to be so frustrating for a coach.
Well, next week will be interesting.
Yes, it will. And the final score here tonight is 49-31. As for all of LMT Live Sports and crew, I'm Michael Burrell. This is Andy McDonald signing off tonight. Final score 49 Kennedy, 31 Limar.
I can have it? Yep. Love you, Antoine. I too, it's hard not to like this guy.